Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fast Expand. This is going to be the final game of the one, the only Liquid.Sheth playing against EG.Idra. It's going to be absolutely epic.
Yes, it is, and I just accidentally turned off my nameplate and production, not realizing I'd already turned them on. But yeah, absolutely, we've already talked about Idra earlier today when we were talking about Stefano joining EG. And we've talked about Sheth a lot today, so what more can we really say other than ZVZ, yay!
Exactly, and my starboard is completely messed up, but it's nice and fixed now, so that's all good. And what more can you say about these two players that hasn't already been said?
Not much at all. I'm just currently having a look at the Evil Genius versus Liquid, and unfortunately Idra didn't play, but Sheth did play, and he was able to take down Puma and Suppy before he was taken down by JYP. So that just says huge amounts about Sheth's skill level.
Exactly. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Are they talking about the drone acceleration trick?
I think he might be, so...
Yeah, it must be, because it's fairly complicated and it's probably a bug. If anyone didn't know, if you waypoint drones, like if your micro is very, very good, you can waypoint drones and they accelerate rather than deaccelerate as they mine, so your mining's slightly more efficient.
It actually works on gas as well, and I saw a player who was able to hit his gas timings with just 2 in gas rather than 3.
Yeah, that's very true. It is about 33% more efficient. But look at the timing on these hatcheries. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. They couldn't be more the same.
You'd almost think this is a mirror matchup.
Yeah, between two very, very solid players who don't miss splits, who stack drones efficiently, who can also type and micro insanely well. I mean, they're typing to each other and they still have 200 APM each.
That is just... that is so crazy. Talent wasted on the American.
Indeed, but look at the timings. They're almost exactly the same. Liquid.Sheth pulling ahead by just a few seconds. But Idra's drones are slightly more efficient right now. So a little bit weird. It's pretty much going to come down to who doesn't mess up, because both of these players are extremely efficient, extremely mechanically sound. Yeah, basically whoever makes the first mistake will probably lose the game.
That definitely sounds like the ZVZ that we all know and love. And Idra getting his Overlord in to scout at pretty much the same time Sheth does. Sheth seeing what he needs to, sees a single gas, sees the spawning pool, and Idra sees exactly the same. They both know that they're going for mirror builds, and now that they both know what the other one is doing is where we see the branch off.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come to a point where they're either going to basically clash in the mid-game with the exact same armies, like the exact same sort of roach count, and basically whoever's attacking is going to be at a disadvantage, or they're going to kind of go this separate way, and it looks like Sheth is going this separate way. He might be going for the Ling +1 armor to defend against Banelings easier, or he might be going for the Ling +1 weapons, which means the Banelings do more damage. Either way, this is a separate tech path that Sheth is choosing, and Idra is just going down the kind of normal route right now.
Indeed, that is true, and Idra is already sending out 2 Lings to have a bit of a scout, have a bit of a poke around. He will be able to see his expansion is up, but he was pretty safe to presume that anyway, and both players are getting their Baining nest, with Idra being a bit ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, both players kind of doing the exact same thing now. I'm a bit worried why Sheth chose the Carapace over the speed, because that means Idra's going to have a massive speed advantage. One of Idra's Lings now just running up the ramp and getting into the base, scouting absolutely everything, sees that Baining nest, he even clicks on it, as you can tell there, and he knows exactly what's going on. He sees the evolution chamber researching. Idra's pretty comfortable right now, I imagine.
I would agree. He knows exactly what his opponent's doing. He has overlords basically everywhere near his opponent's base. He's got it pretty much sussed out. I mean, one of Idra's problems did used to be scouting. Seems he has that fairly under control.
Yeah, I mean, Idra used to, because he was so like mechanically sound and so good at timings, he used to basically, counter what he thinks his opponent would do most of the time without scouting. And now he's kind of learned that, okay, even if it looks like he's going down this route. He might actually be doing this route. So Idra's become much better at scouting, especially in Zerg versus Zerg. He never even used to have an Overlord anywhere near the opponent's main or anything like that. And as you can see right now that there's Overlords in places where he's going to pick up on early sort of signs of anything. His lair timing's almost identical. His third base should be about up by now, but he's deciding to go down the gas route. So EG.Idra playing very well, but of course Sheth playing extremely well himself.
That is very true. And both players, EG.Idra's going to hit his lair very much quicker than Sheth is. EG.Idra is basically ahead in the tech right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been slightly ahead of everything because obviously Sheth decided to do that +1 carapace instead of the speed, which of course is going to help him with any sort of mid-game attacks with Bain. But as you can see, they're just not coming. EG.Idra's going straight to roaches, and EG.Idra's kind of famous for his roaches right now.
Indeed, EG.Idra did just poke into the main and managed to get past all the Bainlings. He's just running around at them and giving Sheth's army a good run for its money. But yeah, I would agree. EG.Idra is fairly famous for his roaches right now. 10 in production, as well as a couple more Bainlings to help deal with Sheths.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking as well. But of course, the mid game is starting to favour EG.Idra more than it is Sheth, because Sheth invested so much early on into kind of making sure he doesn't die to Bainlings. And now, of course, EG.Idra's going, well, I'm not going Bainlings, I'm going roaches. Your roaches are going to be behind, but Sheth going for a Spire and a third base. So very different tech routes considering how even the game was up until about 5 minutes.
Indeed, and the thing is, this Spire could make all the difference for Sheth. If he's able to get out those Muters, he's going to be able to destroy the roaches of EG.Idra.
Yeah, and the Lings making their way. There's no roaches here. The surrounding Spinecrawler goes straight to the mill. That was bad.
That was bad. That didn't go well. Queen does go down, and Sheth's Lings do have the defense upgrade, but those roaches do pop out from EG.Idra, and he's able to defend fairly easily. These Lings that have just popped in, they could possibly get a couple drone kills actually, because the roaches aren't really near enough, but no, they're just going to go for the run around, see if get the scout, see if there's anything worth sniping, and then they will, there we go, try to get to the middle line, but the roaches are already there. And this is just the dance. At the same time, EG.Idra's moving down towards Sheth's base.
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what EG.Idra needs to do. But Sheth's already got 5 Spinecrawlers, Bainlings, Queens, and Mutalisks about to pop out. EG.Idra knows that the Mutalisks are on the way, so he's decided to attack as quick as possible. And as soon as he sees this Spinecrawler wall, he's going to know Mutalisks are on the way, and he's going to start having to prep. As you can see, the Infestation Pit coming down now. But he is getting quite a lot of drone kills, and that's going to help him. But these Mutalisks are out now, and they are going to clean up absolutely everything. EG.Idra's going to be forced to attack. Just snipe off as much as possible. It looks like he's going for the Queens, killing a Spinecrawler or 2 there, some more Spinecrawlers in the main, and as long as he kills these Queens, he can keep the production down, and that's going to really help him while he preps for these infestors.
Yeah, the main thing about roaches versus mutants is the fact that roaches have so much health. He can basically kill a huge amount of stuff before these roaches go down, and that's exactly what EG.Idra's doing. Yeah,
EG.Idra picking his targets very well there, sniping the Queens, and then of course sniping the Spire, so no more Mutalisks. And now look, he can just put a Spore Crawler down and get his infestors out without having to scramble. And of course more roaches coming into this third base. They might actually kill it. There's a lot of mutants here, but this third base is going to go down by the looks of it. Yeah, definitely.
Close.
It's definitely going down.
Ew. Yeah, definitely going down as Roach is still on full hit points in there. There it goes, and the last Roach went down literally just after, so that was really close.
Yeah, definitely. And of course Liquid.Sheth now down to 60 supply, and all he can make is drones and lings. And I think he can actually make roaches. Yes, he can. But, you know, he doesn't quite have the economic backing that EG.Idra does. He only has 30 drones right now. So these Mutalisks are going to have to do some damage. But with Spore Crawlers, Queens, and Infestors on the way as well, I just don't think it can. It might actually be able to snipe this third base. And if they do, that's definitely how Sheth gets back into this game. But if the Infestor pops, oh my god, this might get nasty.
This will get nasty. However, the Spore Crawler's on very low health. There's not really enough anti-air here. Second Fungal makes them lose a lot of health. A third Fungal as well. A couple of mutants have been split off, and they will go after the Spore Crawlers that are currently building. This expansion, though, there's not really much here to defend it. Queen is just about to pop, though. There it is, and it will do as much damage as possible. And the Spore Crawler finishes up, finally starting to snipe these mutas. There's one left, and it's trying to fight this queen all on its own, but down it goes. And that was a pretty decent defense by EG.Idra.
Yeah, definitely. But how does Chef get himself back into this game? I mean, he's slowly crawling back. But the tech lead right now is definitely EG.Idra's. The upgrade lead is EG.Idra's. The drone lead is EG.Idra's. The base lead is EG.Idra's. How does Chef get himself back into this one?
I don't really see how he can unless he goes for the tech advantage. And the thing is, EG.Idra already has it. He's half the supply of EG.Idra, and that's not where you want to be ever, let alone in a ZVZ.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you think about it this way, EG.Idra already has 6 infestors on the field, now building a Bainsy, adding 2 more. So by the time they engage, EG.Idra is going to have at least 3 to 4 times the fungals that Chef does, and at least twice the amount of roaches. He has more bases, he has more drones. The only thing Chef has going for him now is this small spine crawler wall and a few roaches in a very good position, but it's just going to be able to smash through that very, very soon.
I couldn't agree with you more. EG.Idra's in such a favourable position right now, but we've already seen Chef do some incredible plays so far. So we've seen him be pretty much ahead in all the games that he's played, but now we're seeing him attempt to come back from behind, and it's kind of strange, but he's doing a really good job holding on.
I mean, if anyone can get themselves back in a game in ZVZ, it's Chef, but I don't know, this position almost seems unwinnable right now. We'll soon see though, because Chef is a kind of master of comebacks. I've seen him come back from some ridiculous positions, but against a player like EG.Idra, is that even possible?
There's only one way to find out. The roaches and the infestors have made it down to Chef's base. Doesn't know they're going to engage. They're going to try and engage this small roach force that was currently up near EG.Idra's base, and they will get a couple good hits, but it doesn't look like they're going to try and fully engage yet. These roaches are just going to chill up near the top of the map, and Chef is basically trying to produce as many infestors as he can, while EG.Idra is going for as fast of a max as possible, and then is just going to try and kill his opponent.
Yeah, I'm not liking what EG.Idra's doing right now. He's being very, very indecisive. Basically, a small contingency of roaches here from Chef is forcing EG.Idra's main army back and forward, back and forward. But of course, now EG.Idra's reinforcements can actually kill the army of Chef. Leaving a small group of roaches here at the 3rd base, killing that yet again. The 4th base of EG.Idra survives. This game just looks worse and worse for Chef every single minute that goes by.
EG.Idra not really controlling his infestors there, losing one of them to a spine crawler, and another one going down to red health and just getting sniped by this roach here. And like you said, EG.Idra's being really indecisive, and his main army is nowhere near where it needs to be. It needs to be putting on pressure, but right now, it's just chilling next to this 4th base.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, the infestors are building Bainsy. But now Chef has a lot of infestors of his own as well, and quite a lot of roaches. EG.Idra's going for the Hydralist Den. He's going for Overlord speed and drops, getting that +2 armor as well. Chef going for Burrow and a 3rd base. EG.Idra's 4th base is now established. He also has a 5th macro hatch. So EG.Idra's production's way ahead of Chef's. EG.Idra's income's ahead of Chef's. EG.Idra's upgrades ahead of Chef's. It's going to come down to some seriously clutch fungals if Chef's ever going to think about winning this one.
I would completely agree. And here we go. EG.Idra's just going to smash down these rocks with his roaches. They do have +2 upgrades compared to Chef's. I misclicked his roaches there. Chef also has the +2 upgrades, but the numbers are so heavily in EG.Idra's favour. Like you said, it's going to be some incredible fungals if Chef is to come back from this. He is producing as many infestors as he can, though. Currently has 6 on the field, with me misclicking at 3 more in production, which is a fair amount. It's just about whether it is enough. And EG.Idra attacking the 4th base of Chef, denying it. That gets nowhere near being up.
Yeah, EG.Idra's kind of thought process here is very, very good. He assumed a flank from Chef, but kind of got the positioning wrong. If he had just went a little bit further down, you see him use 2 fungals here and here to catch burrowed roaches. This Overseer just missing those roaches, that makes such a difference. That makes such a massive difference. Chef is going to be able to get a counter attack, but of course there is spines here as well as Overseers, and the reinforcements of EG.Idra's should be able to actually completely win. And the infestors are not quite where they should be. They're all balled up, but some great fungals there from Chef.
Oh my god. Yeah, the clutch fungals that we called are coming down, but Chef is still being forced into full retreat right now. Does have a lot of energy left on these infestors, and EG.Idra pulling back, manages to snipe the 3rd though. And even if these roaches lose health, they will just gain it back again.
Yeah, exactly. But the small contingency of counter-attack roaches there from Chef doing some really good damage. But Idra's army's on the way back. Can they pick off this 4th base? It does make a difference. It looks like they will. Yes, they will. But they are leading to their death right now. They are going for this 3rd base, which of course will sandwich them between Spines and the Roach army. All these roaches are about to go down, and then definitely not going to get this 3rd base.
Indeed. They do get the Queen though, and every victory is a good victory, and another spot, and there is a spire on the way for Idra as well.
Sorry, look at Chef's main base right now. Idra's sneaking some infestors in there, and it looks like the layer is going to go down. That is a big deal.
It does. That is a really big deal. And here come the Chef's roaches to try and deal with it, but it's a bit too late. And Idra's infestors are getting out of there, throwing a couple of infested terrans in the natural just as a parting gift. And wow,
yeah,
Idra's re-establishing his 4th base. This is looking ugly.
Yeah, Chef is the only player I know that could possibly make a game like this last this long. And it looks like if he was looking at his infestors, he might have been able to do a little bit more there. But good fungals there, but eventually these fungals run out. He's killing a ton of roaches though. His roaches now coming in, some very, very good fungals.
So many more fungals left there. Idra, where have all his infestors gone? And Chef is pushing him back.
Yeah, definitely, but look at this. The main base is gone. The natural took a pounding as well. Infested Terrans just tickling that 3rd base, not quite getting the kill. But Idra's already at 200 supply, and Chef's at 21 drones right now, so it's going to be very hard. And Idra moving up to 3-3 and Broodlord tech as well. Chef is literally the only person in the world I know that could make a game like this last this long. But
Chef looks like he's going to snipe the 3rd base. He does get it with those roaches that were borrowed from the earlier attack. So that is a really good attack. And he's attacking the 4th base at the same time, pushing forward. Great fungals from Idra, catching almost the entire army. Infested Terrans going down from Chef, not bothering to fungal at all, just getting one fungal off and throwing down as many Infested Terrans just to help with the army. And GG from Chef, it wasn't enough. Idra just managed to get ahead, and when he got ahead, he dominated.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very, very good game. As I've said so many times, Chef fought tooth and nail there, and he hung in for so long. And that little kind of engagement up Chef's ramp there went so much in his favour, but he only had 21 drones, so there's not much you can do with 21 drones against Idra's 70.
That is very true.